play and call it work.
Hello there, everyone, war gamers, and welcome to another MiniWarGaming kind of first impressions. Right, this is our first take on Saga the Beast. I am Luka from MiniWarGaming.com.
I am Steve.
And we're here to talk to you about Saga the Beast.
Yes.
This is the 7th installment? Yes.
Yes.
Or a 6th, because Greater Good was 5. Yeah, Greater Good was 5.
Right.
So this is the 6th installment.
So many of them.
Right, and there's more to come as well. Now, Saga the Beast covers orcs and space wolves.
Yes.
Space wolves definitely needed the update.
Yes.
100%.
For sure.
Orcs were already in a good spot, but new stuff is always cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. So today we're going to do 3 videos. We're going to talk about, in this video we're talking about the Space Wolves, what happened to them. We'll do another video where we talk about the Orcs. I'm super excited for that one. And then in the Mini Wargaming Vault, we will have a bat rep with the new Space Wolves versus the new Orcs at 2,000 points. And we'll try to do our best to use things that have received changes.
Right.
If we can. Though everything you have changes.
Right. It's weird. I guess if I had to say, if we immediately, again, this is the first impressions, compared both of the changes from both the aspects of the orcs and the space wolves. The space wolves got the good old psychic awakening treatment.
Yep.
Things that weren't generally used got buffs in the form of stratagems. And the same thing happened with the orcs. It's just the orcs got more.
Orcs did well. Orcs did very well. Maybe too well.
Did exceptionally well, but we're here to talk about Space Wolves.
Yes.
Now, in that battle report, I did run the new Ragnar Blackmane. We got that painted up. We do have Gazgul Thraka, but we're using the older model for him.
I put him on a bigger base.
Just because Gazgul was a lot more work to paint than Ragnar was, because he's about, 3 times the size as Ragnar?
Huge.
I was right, by the way.
You were.
Anyone who was...
I don't know if they know what we're
following.
Okay. We've had this ongoing.
Yeah, we had sit and talks, and then a friend of mine had sent me not an early image, but the second Warhammer community leaked an image of Gazgul Thraka. It's like his foot, his claw, and all that. They showed a little skull beside him. I'm like, wow, he's gonna be huge. He's gonna be like a Leviathan.
I'm like, no way. He'll be a little bit bigger than a Centurion, like bigger than his current model, but like he's gonna look like he belongs with Megan. No. He ate an entire dreadnought, swallowed it whole, and got fat.
So he was on the 60 mil base. He is absolutely gigantic.
Though the instructions say 80 mil.
Yeah, Steve cracked open the instructions. Let's see that base size. 80 mil.
80 mil!
I'm like, well, I guess 60 mil with the chance of 80. And I was
like, oh, he's right.
I'm like, I guess I was right. But then we pull out the base. It's only a 60 mil base. For whatever reason, it says you put him on an 80 mil, but it gives you a 60
I think
mil.
it was just a misprint in the book because everything fits perfectly on the 60.
Right, because the misprints do happen. Ragnar is an awesome model too. Both excellent kits.
Honestly, yeah.
Couldn't complain? Couldn't complain about it.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say couldn't care less. I was gonna say couldn't care less, but I love
care more.
Exactly. That's the word. I love both those models.
Honestly, both of them. Gazgul is way better than I expected.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting much from Ragnar. Probably
he's a steal for his points. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, for sure. We'll get to that. Absolutely, he is amazing for 120 points.
Yeah.
But he is, in my opinion, I'm not a big Space Wolf fan, the best looking Primaris character.
Oh, fair. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I like his stance. I like Crossfang up in the air. He's leaping.
Wasn't expecting it. Wasn't expecting it.
Cool little thing going.
You saw the pictures by now, right? Hold his model in person. Way better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Way better. Love it.
Like, just a good release. Now the rest of the models in that box set.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about that briefly then, because it's not really about this, but if you've been following, nobody likes the box set. And I get it.
Actually, yeah, a lot of people online have been, because what do you get with the orcs? You get knobs, mega knobs?
3 mega knobs, 5 knobs, and Gazgul. I don't care about the
You don't get anything else?
Something else? No, that's it.
Oh, wow. That's
5,
like these boys or something?
Oh, you get Makari, right?
Oh, you get Makari. Yeah, Makari's awesome. Oh, we did not have Makari in the game.
No, I didn't pay for him. Yeah, so I like mega knobs. Cool. I'll be happy to have them. Nobody's going to bring them in a competitive list.
Unfortunately,
knobs,
true.
I just never bothered. I actually gave mine away. I traded mine for something. I had like 30 knobs on sprue. I traded them for fancy movement trays.
Oh.
Yeah, I just they're okay, but they don't really serve a purpose. And then
the Space Wolves. They have the stuff you like, the infiltrators.
I do, but I don't know if I want them for Space Wolves.
Well, the Space Wolves have that whole their scouts they're very elite, so they do put a lot of merit into their
narratively, but on the table.
On the table, yeah. On the table, you don't really want them.
I get the upset. I get it by a lot of not useless models, but not models you would probably want to buy right now.
Yeah, because that's the only way you're going to get your hands on those new models, I believe. I don't think you can buy
For
them
now,
separate.
right. I think it's going to change tomorrow, but for now,
I guess, yeah. But recently, they've done a poor job of immediately releasing those single models for good reason. They want people to
or an amazing job. I'm not going to say like.
Well, I guess it depends. Like if you want that one model, you're gonna have to wait a long time, probably. But if you don't mind getting all the extra models,
like, remember the Skaven one?
yeah.
And then, like how long
that
that
just came out like a month ago, maybe.
Right? That's been. I don't even want to say how. Yeah, either way.
Yeah. So the models themselves, the named characters, excellent quality, very great rules too.
I feel like Luka is trying to avoid talking about the Space Wolves.
I am a little bit. Okay.
The boy's not happy. Honestly,
okay. I'm gonna say two things. It's mostly because the orcs got more and I'm petty.
Fair. Fair.
That's mostly
Orcs got way more than I expected, and way more than they needed, and not what I expected.
Right.
You know what? Separate video. Go watch that video. It's up right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Space Wolves.
So Space Wolves, all in all, through and through, better.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Oh, for sure.
Without a doubt. They got the doctrines. That's awesome. Great for them. They had a rule called Hunters Unleashed before, which was +1 to hit the turn they charge, were charged, heroically intervene. And in that rule, they also had it written in that their characters can heroically intervene up to 6 inches. Always a really cool rule. That stayed the same. Now they got something called Savage Fury. This is active in the Assault Doctrine. If you roll an unmodified 6 to hit, you get an automatic extra hit. So every 6 counts as 2 hits, which can be good. And it's good that it's unmodified too. That way it works for Power Fists and Thunder Hammers as well. But then at the same time, you can say you wish it worked better with the Hunters Unleashed, where it'd be 5 and 6 if they charge. But you have to consider if you're fighting something like Plague Bearers or anything with -1 hit, you lose your rule. I would much rather always keep it unmodified. That way you never lose your rule. Nothing like sure, buffing your rule feels great. The synergy's awesome, but nothing feels worse than losing your rule.
True.
I can't stand that.
Okay, so I have a big question for you. How do you feel about it? Do you like it? Do you think it's appropriate? Do you think it's... How do you feel about it?
Funny enough, I actually guessed this one. I don't think I ever told anyone, believe it or not. I guess I got this one nailed on the head. I guessed that was the rule they were going to get.
Okay.
Because I was trying to think of what they're going to get. I'm like, I would love something really complex and complicated. But in the end, I'm like, okay, they're going to give them some of these get extra attacks. But Blood Angels get an automatic extra attack the turn they charge, or charge heroically intervene. So I'm thinking, okay, so what do the Space Wolves get? They're a little more unpredictable, a little more sporadic, so I was pleased with it. I'm pleased with it. It makes sense.
It's exactly what you expected. Okay, so it's exactly what you expect. It's very lore appropriate.
Yeah.
On the table, how do you feel?
I think
with your limited experience, we've played one game, limited experience. Thoughts?
It has the potential to be, so the Blood Angel one is guaranteed 1 extra attack. Now, theoretically, you could get a bunch of extra attacks with this one, right? It could spike higher, it could spike lower. You could get nothing out of it. But like an example, Ragnar, when he shock assaults, he gets 10 attacks on his profile. He could theoretically, with that trait, roll 10 6s and get 20 attacks off his profile.
True.
20 hits, sorry. Whereas,
well, no, he has 7 of those profile, but he gets 3 extra
when he charges
or
he could roll nothing but 6s. True. Average says if he was charged, heroically intervenes, he would get maybe 1 to 2. Regardless, I like it. Happy with the rule.
Cool.
I think it's great.
Cool.
I would have liked to see something more intense and dramatic, but if you look at all the other Space Marine like trait doctrines, they're not complex. They're really basic.
So I typically don't like to do this, but I want to ask you. If you had written it, what would you have done?
Oh, man.
I think it's pretty, I'm not going to call it amazingly good, but I think it's pretty Space Wolfy.
All right. I was thinking it could have been 6s to hit, get +1 damage, or they're +1 damage on the charge. I'm like, okay, who else does that? Who does +1 damage on the charge in close combat?
Ooh, that'd have been cool.
But it's too good, right? It
might
be too good, right?
Yeah, okay, that might be too good.
And plus that's the White Scar rule. That's what they get in their Assault Doctrine.
That's true.
Yeah.
What if you had like +3, I don't know why we're doing this, what if you had +3 charge in the Assault Doctrine?
That'd be kind of cool too.
Yeah. I would like to see more buffs to close combat armies, even though I don't like playing with them or against them.
So I'm okay with Savage Fury. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It can spike super high, it can spike super low. Is it as good as the Blood Angel one? I actually have no idea.
It's not the best, it's not the worst, you nailed it.
Right, exactly. Mostly because, I don't know, I think White Scars want to stay the tactical as long as they can, but the +1 damage is really nice for them.
Okay, so is it enough that's a good question. Is it enough for you to move to Assault Doctrine on turn 3?
It depends on my list. If I have like 2 squads of aggression, I'd probably do it every time. Yeah.
This is never a rule, right? But because you never know what's happening on the table at the time. But do you think you want to move to that?
I think I would normally because no matter what, every time. So me personally, yes, because every time I build a Space Wolf list, I build it with the mind of getting into combat.
I'm sorry.
Which is a mistake right away, right? It's unfortunately true. I have, for whatever reason, when it comes to Space Wolves, I have one list I like to play. I'll maybe change it up a little bit here or there. I love Blood Claws. I love Infiltrators of my troops. I love Long Fangs. Even
you got to go Primaris, dude. I love those guys.
I know. So I throw a little bit of Primaris in there. I'm a big fan of Aggressors and a Repulsor now.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I'm adding that because Aggressors ignore the -1 to hit for the Power Fist, and they shoot a bunch of bullets.
They're getting +1 to offset the -1.
Exactly. I would probably go to the Assault Doctrine every time with the way I want to build my list. Now, unfortunately, because I'm playing Space Wolves and I'm trying to play close combat, I am just handicapping myself.
Just more aggressors. They're technically close combat.
It's true. You could just run more aggressors. I have run...
Also, veteran intercessors now with their +1 to hit, with Thunderhammer on the Sergeant, make like a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
6 is maybe an extra.
So now I guess we'll start talking about the stratagems because that's all they got for Savage Fury. Yeah. So I guess I want a petty comment about Blood Angels. Now, to be fair, with their, I can't remember what their rule was called, but where they got +1 to wound when they.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
For being a Battle Force Blood Angel, they got that right. That was the only rule they had, so it made sense that they got the +1 to run and charge rule added on. This is super powerful.
My beef with that is or maybe is the best Space Marine thing.
Right.
And then they added on an amazing one. +1 to run and charge is amazing.
I know. It's and I don't.
They have, don't get me wrong, Iron Hands have a lot too.
Yeah.
They're also really good. But yeah, Bloody's got 2. But yeah.
The Space Wolves always had 2 with Hunters Unleashed and the Hero Gleaner beating 6 inches, so I didn't expect
that was kind of cool.
It is. It's a very gotcha-like mechanic too, especially when you have good characters. Like a lot of their characters are good. That's a flat line. Space Wolf characters are amazing in close combat.
Yep.
So it ties in very well.
But they're good at close combat,
which is the issue when it comes to 8th edition. I've played a lot of games, so if I had to, Space Wolves are one of my main armies. Each one of us has about 2 to 3 armies they consider their main. Now we all dabble, but I play Space Wolves, Necrons, and Death Guard. Those are my main 3. So they all serve a different purpose. Death Guard and my Necrons are my usual go-to. I want to try and win, so I'm playing with them. Now Space Wolves, when we used to take a lot of guests, and this is kind of common knowledge, the guests sometimes weren't that experienced. So Space Wolves were my guest list. If I was playing against someone who was newer to the game, I'd bring up the Space Wolves because I'd always have a good game with them.
So when we're done this, we'll back and forth about this book. I want to ask you a question.
Right. So
don't let me forget. We're all done. I have a very important question for you when we're done this.
If you can remember that.
If I can remember. I remember what it is.
Okay, so we're going to move on to, that's it for their Savage Fury. It's a good rule. It's awesome, sure. In this book, they've included also all of the... like the new infiltrator stuff.
Yeah, all the Primaris stuff, new vehicles that are lacking and not existing at the time their codex has come out.
Now, what I am disappointed in is they didn't include the errata and warlord traits.
Right.
I thought that'd be a little weird. So you still have to use your. I assume a lot of you have a printout. And what I mean by the errata warlord traits for Space Wolves, their codex came out and their warlord traits were incorrect upon printing.
It feels like every one of these books has just this one thing that they just forgot to do or forgot to fix, forgot to add or whatever.
Now, maybe they had their own reason as to why they didn't want to include
Honestly,
that.
we get the luxury of criticizing after the fact, right? Who
100%. 100%. We have the inclusion of Vanguard warlord traits. These are your typical, if you have access to Vanguard Warlord, use the warlord traits. Are these all the same? You actually have more experience in this.
Yeah, they're exactly the same.
These are all the same.
Exactly the same.
So none of those are Space Wolf specific then. Now we have our Space Wolf stratagems. A lot of these are your Space Marine stratagems thrown in, which is good.
Okay, so let me explain something beforehand. So we get this book this morning, and we go through it, we play our game, and now we do this review.
Yeah.
I focused on the orc stuff, Luka focused on the Space Marine stuff. We play our game, we decided to do the reviews, we decided we're going to do the Space Wolf first. So the orc review, or a first impression video is up, but we haven't technically recorded it yet as you're watching this video. So what I did, Luka's like, go review the Space Wolf stratagems before we do the thing. Obviously I did.
Right.
But what am I missing?
Exactly. So I gave it to him, and I'm like, I'm either blind. Maybe I'm just like I'm not mad, but I'm like, there's got to be something in there, right? Maybe I'm missing something, and I'm like, okay, Steve, you look at this while I set stuff up, and then
don't get me wrong, there's a couple of nice ones.
So Duty Eternal, awesome stratagem.
Sure,
that's a Space Marine one.
But like, okay, no, there's a couple in there that are purely for Space Marines.
Oh yeah.
That are not purely Space Wolves.
Right.
They're not terrible. One's pretty good.
There's one that is a absolute amazing stratagem.
But they didn't wow me.
Right, the rest in WoW. And then you like I said earlier, these stratagems are intended to bring usefulness to units that don't normally see play. Now, those units,
which is I think a fair assessment by your part. Yeah, I think it's fair.
But those units themselves are they're so bad that you wouldn't normally want to bring them. Now we are going to go into detail about how they could be good. Now, first of all, Space Wolves love dreadnoughts. They have Duty Eternal now. That's awesome.
Everybody's got that.
That's a great inclusion. Can't complain about that. Boltstorm. That is automatically hit with auto bolt rifles. We have rapid fire in here. We've got big guns never tired.
You know, I can save you some time. We have all of the generic Space Marine ones.
Yep, exactly. That's Veteran Intercessors is amazing for Space Wolves.
Absolutely, that one is. It's good for everybody, but I think Space Wolf players should, or I don't know, maybe want to use that one. I like that one for Space Wolves.
Well, you put a Thunderhammer on your Sergeant, right? You
get that +1 to hit and all his attacks.
So that gives your Sergeant 4 attacks. 5 on the charge, and 6 if they're near Wolfen and they didn't need and that's Thunderhammer attacks, right?
Hitting on 3s.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Like
that's something to consider.
That's pretty good. That's good.
We have Hammer of Wrath, that's generic. Hero of the Chapter. This is one that allows, this is not a bad one. It lets you take a second warlord trait on a second character. So you can have 2 sagas. So the Space Wolf warlord traits they're selfish at first, and then when you unlock their Deed of Legend, it becomes a 6-inch aura that everyone gets around them. So having 2 sagas down could be cool.
Yes.
That's only 1 command point. So that's something I'd consider using every game, probably.
We can talk about that one last.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the good one last. Or at least what our opinion on the best one is.
Yes.
Fury of the Champions is just Fury of the First, +1 for Terminators. That's Space Wolf plus Terminators.
Fantastic, you got it, yep.
Exactly. Knowledge of the Foe, this is the one they revealed on Warhammer Community.
I like it, I do.
You said they didn't like it? I like it.
I read, so like, a lot of people are like, yeah, it's cool. I've read a couple of comments where like, this seems like it's not fair. Like, why are they getting this free command?
Oh, wow.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's so situational. But don't get me wrong, whatever. I think this is really cool. I love this stratagem.
Yes.
It's 0 command points.
Yeah.
When a Space Wolf character kills an enemy character, you use the stratagem and you gain a command point.
And that's it. Simple as that.
It's cool.
Space Wolves don't have a way to farm command points. They don't have a warlord trait that can do it. They don't have a relic that can do it. So now they have a stratagem that allows them to do it. This is very reminiscent of priority threat neutralized for the assassins. Whenever an assassin kills a character for 1 command point, they get 2 command points. Or if it's a warlord, they get 3.
Listen, you don't have to have any left.
This one's nice because you can farm at 0. You could trick your opponent, right?
I got nothing left.
Actually, this goes in line with the other one too, being very tricky.
Oh yeah.
Very sneaky stratagems
here. Okay, we'll talk about this one again in a moment.
Yeah, because a couple of these stratagems are very gotcha for Space Wolves, which
one is.
I don't necessarily like that.
True, but there's a very big contingent. Like, neither do I.
Right.
Actually, most of us in this building don't like that.
Right.
However, we have to accept that there's a big group of people who love it, and that's the way they want to play. And like, cool, they got it.
Because like that one there is like your opponent asks you, how many command points do you have? 0? Okay, so you're out for this game. Sure.
I just got 1 more, and now I'm doing that one.
Right, that one thing that like, you told me you had no command points. Well, I didn't.
I didn't at the time.
I didn't at the time, right? It is cool. I'm very happy to see a 0 command point stratagem in the game. Next, we'll talk about Crushing Assault. Okay, this is one that helped Thunderwolf Cavalry out. Now, Thunderwolf Cavalry are polarizing. I don't like them. I know a lot of people love them, and I know a lot of people don't like them. This one helps them out. After they finish a charge move, you select an enemy unit within 1 inch, and they take a mortal wound on a 2-up. That's... You don't roll for every model, right?
It's one for that model.
For each model in that, okay, that's actually not bad.
Still, you're probably at best doing 3 mortal wounds. On every 2-up. Again, it might be great. I'm not going to be able to list it on the strategy.
Right.
It might win you a game.
For anyone out there who does like to run large lists of Thunderwolf Cavalry, awesome. That's awesome. I'd recommend bigger.
I think it's good. I wouldn't call it awesome. I think it's good.
Yeah, it's useful. If you run like
could be useful.
It could be, yeah. If you run MSU, like massive small units of Thunderwolf Cavalry, not as useful. Maybe if you do that, but make one of them like a 6-man squad or something, and you hopefully roll well enough on your charge to get 4, 5, 6 of them hitting your enemy. And then you can do up to that many mortal wounds. That could be useful.
Also, sometimes just having one character that's got this, he just can't get through his armor save.
That's perfect too. Yeah.
You go in, wrap 3 Thunderwolf on him. 2+2+2 is 1 more wound. Right. Like again, it can be super good.
So that's an example of trying to bring up a unit that didn't see much play.
But I have to be bringing Thunderwolf Cavalry, which I don't see the use for them. I shouldn't say that. My buddy plays them a lot, and they seem to be...
But doesn't he complain all the time about them?
But they always... they always die right away. They always die right away.
Because they're an easy target. They're hard to hide.
Yeah.
They have a massive base.
Yeah.
They can get 3 up and bottom.
They're not useless. I'm just not afraid of them. They're just your grunts.
And that's what you got to consider. Yeah. Is your opponent afraid of them? No. Then...
They're just your grunts.
Right.
Maybe I might be afraid of them now. Stratagem, not really.
Well, you have time to deal with them before they get close, right? True. That's ideally it. especially if you're playing shooting-based army. Now, the next one is Touch of the Wild. This is one that they showed off on Warhammer Community. I think this is a great stratagem. This is the one that use it in your fight phase. You select one character in your army until the end of that phase, and resolving an attack made by that model. An unmodified hit roll 4+ scores 1 additional hit.
Wow.
Now, interesting stipulation on this.
Yes.
Is the fact that there is no stipulation on this.
Right.
So what that means is it works with Savage Fury technically,
I think they might address it eventually, but as it stands right now, if you were to play that against me, every 4+, I'd give you the extra attack. Every 6+, I'd give you the 2.
Unless there's somewhere obscure.
So explain that so people aren't following.
Yeah.
So your what
Savage Fury.
Savage Fury on a 6 to hit gives you an extra hit.
An automatic extra hit, yeah.
This stratagem is for characters only, and a 4+ gives you an extra hit.
So theoretically, if you roll a 6+ with this stratagem active, or let's put it this way, if you activate the stratagem on a character, a 4/5 gives you 2 hits, a 6 would give you 3.
So I can't argue rules as written that you don't get 3 on the 6.
Unless
so
there's
I would give it to you.
an obscure errata somewhere that we're not noticing.
True.
Because there's a lot of those now.
Very true.
So I'd be mindful.
As it stands right now, somebody by all means point out if you know where it is. But right now, I'm totally okay with giving you the 3 hits on the 6 if you spend 1 command point. Either way, even if you don't, this is really good for a character.
Right. It is.
It's really good for a character.
Like
1 command point.
Like hypothetically, on Ragnar, we're going to use him because he's a new model.
Yep.
He has 10 attacks on the charge, when charged, all that stuff. So every 4 up gives him an additional hit. Every 6 gives him an additional 3. Right? So with his 10 attacks, like, on average, that's going to be about 16 hits if you count one of them as a 6.
Yeah.
Or 17 if you count 2 of them as like, it's actually really good for that. And if you have
he's
Smash
so
Captains,
good too. Yes.
if you like to run a spaceless Smash Captain with Saga the Wolfkin and Wolfenstone, that puts them at 6, 7-ish attacks on
They're
the
going to
charge.
be using this like crazy.
That's a really good strategy. This
was one of the few strategies in here like nice. Nice. Love this one.
This is one that they knew was good, so they showed it off. And then like the rest of them, like they didn't show off, but the rest of them have potential. Next one is Vicious Executioners. This one works only for Wolfguard units, which would be your Terminators as well, or just your Elite Wolfguard. They're your veterans, your Spaceful veterans. When resolving an attack made by a model in that unit against an infantry specifically, so it's got its limitations. Unmodified wound rolls of 6 cause a mortal wound in addition to other damage.
I don't like those personally, but I also accept the fact that sometimes they really sway a game.
Right. So you got to remember that Wolfguard could have 3 or 4 attacks each on the charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for my play style, I mean, it's very situational for me because the most time I'd be like, okay, do I want to spend a command point? You're a Marine army. You don't have a lot.
You don't have a lot, and you blow them quickly already.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I don't. Yeah. The bang for the buck on this one for me seems a little on the low side, but I could definitely see using it because sometimes you're going to need the extra hit.
I'm not in love with this one. I'm not in love with this one either. I'd only probably use that if I absolutely need to kill something that's got like 2 wounds left and it's got a high armor save. Then you'd hope to get a spike.
And you need this guy off the objective.
And that's if you're running Wolfguard, right?
But like that's perfect. In my opinion, those kind of stratagems should exist.
Yes.
Like they shouldn't be used all the time.
Right.
But a little extra punch when you need it.
Exactly. Those kind of stratagems fit in well with knowledge of army, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like these are things I like to run. Like, oh, I got Vicious Executioners. I'll remember to use that.
I think it's used by inexperienced baseball players just going through the book. I'll use this right now, and then the very experienced.
Exactly. Yeah. Next one.
Knowing when to use it.
Pack Hunters at 1 CP, using your fight phase when this is for Fenrir wolves or cyber wolves. Their chosen fight with until the end of that phase when resolving an attack made by a model in that unit. If it's within 3 inches of infantry or cavalry, you get to reroll the hit roll. So your wolves get to reroll hit rolls if they're near something else.
Okay.
Right, that's not super exciting. Unless you like to run Fenrir wolves a lot or cyber wolves.
I gotta bring the wolves. They gotta be near another unit, and I gotta spend a command point. When you bring the wolves, you typically not bring them to fight.
Right, they usually they screen against smites. They're fast, they get on objectives, right? Now, granted, this does work for all units you have on the table. It's not like you pick one unit of them.
True. One day it'll win you a game, but for the most part, you're never going to use it.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
And again, we're going along that theme of like these are things that you never really see in the Space Wolf list. So here's a little bit of buff from. Next one is for Stormfang Gunship.
I meant to go.
I like how it looks.
Oh, perfect. I wanted to go check the stats. Go ahead and talk about it.
Okay. So Stormfang Gunship, Storm Strike for 1 command point, using your shooting phase when it's chosen to shoot with, until the end of the phase, when resolving an attack made with its Hellfrost Destructor, which is that real big turret on it, so the gunship, not the transport, you get to add 1 to hit, wound, and damage rolls. Not so bad. Now, you have to look at the Hellfrost Destructor there.
Okay, so Heavy 3, Strength 8, -4, d6 damage.
Right.
Or you can go heavy 3d3, strength 6, -2, 2 damage. Okay. Actually, the heavy 3d3 with +1 to hit, wound, and damage.
Yeah.
That's an aggressor killer. Yep. Hitting on 2. Do you have
They have power of their machines.
Okay, so hit on 2s. Yeah. You'll wound on 2s against aggressors.
Why do they hit on 2s?
Because you hit on 3s. It's +1 to hit, right?
No. Oh, it is. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. So you hit on 2s. You'll against aggressors, so you'll wound on 2s, and you outright kill them.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it's only -2, but
the disperse is -2. Sure.
Yeah.
But you outright kill them.
That's true. Yeah.
Or you can have hitting on 2s against a vehicle, wounding most vehicles on 2s because of strength 8.
Yep.
-4, d6 damage, minimum 2.
Minimum 2. Yeah. It's not bad.
You know what? I like it.
It's a pricey shit.
It didn't. Yep, that's true. It didn't wow me when I first read it, but I want to check these stats. You know what? If you bring a Stormfang, you are almost certainly going to use the stratagem.
So again, if you like to run Stormfangs, this is a great stratagem for you. That is not bad at all. Especially I think the 3d3 benefit a little bit more against the elite infantry. You get a little bit more use out of that. Junior might. That is.
Sorry, everybody. I have an itch right on the edge of my nose. I'm not picking it. It's just right there, and it won't go away.
I don't. Matt gets itchy noses too. In fact, the corner of my nose is a little bit itchy. We got to avoid the whole face touch thing, right? You don't want to.
Oh yeah.
I touched my face earlier though. Anyways, Junior might. This is the one where Primaris automatically wound on 6 to hit.
Cool.
Sure. Great. That's fine. Target sighted. Use this in your shooting phase. That's the stock bolt rifles can target characters. That's 3 CP.
Fantastic.
Hunter Slayer missile. This is already the repulsor one where they get to See, now here's a weird one. This is also 2 command points though. Skilled riders. This one kind of bothered Steve a little bit.
Not bothered because it's worse in one ways too. But yeah.
Right. It's true because they don't.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So your bikers or land speeders get a 4-up invulnerable save.
For 2 command points.
Only against ranged weapons until the start of your next movement phase for 2 command points. Or if they advance, it's a 3-up invulnerable
Now,
save.
do you have any way of making them charge or shoot after advancing? Or ignoring the penalty? No. Okay. If you could charge after doing it, way scarier. But I mean, for going to grab objectives, 2 command points, give a biker or a speeder a 3-up invulnerable save, that's going to get you objectives. That's going to get you points. That's great. That's great.
They're T5, 2 wounds each, 3-up invulnerable save, but it's 2 command points.
But my Jink is only 4-up.
Right. So that's funny because
it's fine. It's good. It's good.
They're not what are they called? Not Ravenwing. The Ravenwing bikes.
It's even called skilled riders.
I know. Yeah. I know. So that could work for. This could pair up with vicious executioners. You could make them Wolfguard bikers. You make them invulnerable. Let me lose my accent.
It's a wolf.
Wolfguard.
There you
bikers.
go.
The Wolfguard bikers could use vicious executioners. They could have a 3-up invulnerable save if they advance. There's some synergy there, but it's whatever. Here's another buff for Thunderwolf Cavalry, right? Because they really did need them. They actually really did.
Yeah.
This is Thunderous Bite, Death Grip Bite.
Death Grip Bite. 1 command point.
This works on the Thunderwolf Cavalry itself. They're heavy bolter-esque attacks in close combat, so they're 3 attacks each, strength 5, -1 damage. This, until the end of that phase, their crushing teeth and claws make it damage 2, are now damage 2.
When you need it, it's going to be so useful.
And hey, it's AP2 in the Assault Doctrine. AP2 2 damage.
Right? I like it. It's not... You don't build your list around this one, but I like it.
But if you have Thunderwolf Cavalry, it's not.
Maybe you do build your list around it. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably try a game out as Thunderwolf Cavalry. I'll Crushing Assault, Death Grip Bite, try to get to the Assault Doctrine, try and somehow survive getting to the Assault Doctrine with my Thunderwolf Cavalry. We'll figure it out. Next one's Steady Advance. That's a Space Marine one where your infantry...
that was not moving, yeah.
They count as standing still only for Bolter Discipline. Transhuman Physiology. Great to see it. I'm happy it's there.
Yep.
Skyfire. That's for Stalkers and Hunters. Vengeance of the Machine Spirit. This is your Land Raider, your Repulsor, or your Storm Raven Gunship, Stormwolf, or Stormfang. Automatically blow up.
Is there another one, another page?
No, that's all the stratagems.
Well, there's one more, but...
Oh, yes, we got to talk about that one.
This is a good one. So far, other than the one that's super wow, nothing really wowed. It's kind of like,
situationally good.
Situationally good.
Yep.
Not completely useless. Didn't wow us, except for the one that wowed us.
So my favorite one is the one that wowed us. We're going to talk about that in a second. Knowledge of the Foe and Touch of the Wild. That's the character, extra attacks, and that is the tricky, I'm at 0 CP, now I'm at 1.
I also like the Death Grip Bite, but...
Actually, I don't mind that either in the Assault phase. In the Assault Doctrine, that can be really good. Now, Counter Charge for 1 CP.
1 command point, Counter Charge.
I don't think they show this one off anywhere. It works for any...
As a non-spatial player, I hate this one because I'm going to forget. It's a gotcha. It's a gotcha.
This is a big gotcha one. It's going to get them every time. Yeah. So it works for any Space Wolf unit in your army, so it could be a vehicle if you wanted it to. This is going to get you objectives, surprisingly. This is going to get you in a winning combat, surprisingly. This stratagem will win you the game more often than you think it might.
Yeah.
I agree. Until use this in your opponent's charge phase, and then until the end of that phase, you select one unit from your army. Until the end of that phase, that unit can perform a heroic intervention as if it were a character. So in addition, it can perform a heroic intervention if there are any enemy units within 6 instead of 3, and they can move up to 6 instead of 3. So
as long as your opponent remembers you have it,
it won't work that well. But it's very easy.
And you forget, and that's why I hate it, because it's a gotcha.
So
you thought I had this.
There's so many situations I can think of. One of the biggest ones is going to be, okay, I'm going to move up with, we'll say, Scout. My Scout squad's going to move on this objective. I'm not going to charge your wolf in there. I'm going to deal with him next turn or whatever. I'm just going to go get this point right now because I need this 1 point to win. But I got within 5 inches of your wolf in. So you can't fix it because you go into your charge. So I enter my charge phase. Okay, I use counter charge. Ah, crap.
I think those of us who are aware of it or are warned of it or reminded of it, it won't be that bad. But I just feel bad about that one guy who's doing very well at the tournament. Also, he just forgot about this one strategy.
Right.
But I mean, that's tournaments.
Right. So this is the kind of stratagem that really kind of irks me.
It could end friendship. It's one of those friendship ending stratagems.
So if I was playing Space Wolves, if someone moved within 6 inches of something, I would say, don't forget about counter charge.
Right.
In my opinion, that's proper etiquette.
Yep. Our group, right? Like different groups. I'm not going to tell anybody else how they should play.
Now, at a tournament,
different.
It's different, right? Yeah. Now, again, Steve's right. I'm not going to tell anyone how they should play, but this can really make people angry.
Oh, yeah.
If you're trying to make people angry, there you go. Countercharge will get them angry.
But let's be fair, Space Wolves didn't get a whole lot, so they can have this.
This is awesome. This is an amazing stratagem. Now, you might not agree with us, but that is probably the best stratagem. I'd say out of all the they got some pretty good stratagems in their book, not bad. Ignoring modifiers when shooting, rerolling wound rolls on long fangs, all that. It's all some of my favorite stratagems. Counter.
This is the one.
So
agreed.
It's only one TP.
Because you didn't mention it. I was reading it. Well, I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah.
It is so good. It's gonna get them every time. They're gonna move something up.
We got a thumbs up finally.
Yeah. That is it's.
And then that's it. I mean, honestly, is that it?
That's unfortunately it.
That's it for Space Wolves.
They get the obscuration, which is the Vanguard discipline for their Vanguard sectors.
Litanies, they have a personal litany, of course.
Which isn't a bad one. I like its name. Tale of the Wolf King and the Lord of the Deeps. This tells the tale of good King Leman Russ taking out the great Kraken Gorman-Jarl. That's what he forged his axe out of, hey?
Really?
The teeth of Gorman-Jarl? Or maybe it was his sword. It was one of the two. I think it was his sword, actually. Anyways, regardless.
What does it do?
Okay, so this is actually funny enough in the game. I had forgotten that they got the new litany, so I put my guy in the Rhino, not realizing, I can't do my litany right away because he's not on the table. So my litany wasn't actually going to be active till
I've done this so many times myself. I hate that.
It sucks for Terminator chaplains. It's
I always forget. They got to change that. It's dumb.
I know. They should be able to do it if they're off the table and if they're in a vehicle. They should change it to that. I know Space Marines are already good. I don't care. They should change it to that.
Just change it to do it at the end of the movement phase.
Oh, or that too.
Just do that. Just do that.
That actually works too. So it is. So they got all these litanies, and these are great: Catechism of Fire, Exhortation of Rage, all great. They're all great.
Yeah.
The Tale of the Wolf King and the Lord of the Deep. You choose a unit within 6 inches when resolving an attack with a melee weapon by a model against the monster or vehicle, +1 damage. Thunderhammers are at 4. Chainswords are at 2.
Remember, you can get those extra attacks on this 4+ for the stratagem.
Exactly. Ragnar's 3, I guess, 3 damage.
I'm not loving the way Chaplain's litanies work for close combat units.
Right.
But if you can make this one work, this one's really good.
I like it. It's cool.
They don't lend well to non-shooting units. It's hard to keep up with.
Right. It's hard to compare that to Recitation of Focus, whereas it's +1 to hit.
I don't like seeing an army of all guys on foot and then a Chaplain with a jetpack.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Dramatically. Yeah. I know what you're saying. And then Catechism of Fire. It's hard to compare that to Recitation of Focus or Catechism of Fire.
Well, situation, right?
They're both incredibly good. The Wolf King and the Lord of the Deeps, awesome, super cool, and will be useful.
No, we're actually not done. I forgot about.
We forgot about relics.
I literally forgot about the 17 pages of nothing.
Yeah, let's talk about how they add the points cost as well. You know what? Let's talk about points values quick.
Okay.
Nothing's changed. Done. Why did they add them? I don't know if I'm blind.
Did you go through everything?
I did. Well, it's not. That's old. That's outdated.
That's fair.
I got the Minotaur from the last chapter approved. I compared all the points. Okay, that's not true. One change. Ragnar Blackmane's 120 points now.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Ragnar Blackmane.
Whatever. They printed it. It's nice. Everybody else had them printed in the book. Thank you for printing
did they actually have them?
Thank you for printing them.
Are the orcs in here too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? Sorry, I thought I didn't actually realize they did that.
Okay. Fair.
I thought they specifically put this in there because I got excited. I had forgotten this in the other books. Like, point changes. Ooh, let's hope they went down. Actually, you know what? I think the Space was at good points levels right now, and they took a massive point reduction in the last chapter approved. Relics of the Fang. So here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 new relics.
I remember one. I remember two. I remember one.
Right. Now,
actual relic.
To be fair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them are just special issue wargear. If you're familiar with Space Marines, this is the second page of relics where it's just generic stuff that you can give, like Artificer armor, but this one's called Runic armor, where it gives them a 2-up save and a 5-up invuln. That's the exact same rule. They had their own special kind of ammunition, which is called it's around here somewhere, Morkai Teeth Bolts. So you select one bolt weapon, and he gets to make one shot with it. If he does shoot at it, the rest of your army gets to, that unit's marked by Morkai, and the rest of your army gets to reroll wound rolls against it.
Not terrible.
That's not bad.
Not terrible.
Sorry, wound rolls a 1.
Now it's terrible.
Now it's not as good because that's just what a Wolfguard battle leader does. But it is what it is, right? Like, that's the lieutenant, by the way. That's their lieutenant.
So the special issue one that's actually pretty good.
The Wolf Tail Talisman.
This is special issue, not a relic.
Yeah. It doesn't actually label them as special issue, but the way it's laid out, you can tell the wording. You kind of get the idea. So the talisman is whenever a psychic test is taken for an enemy model within 18 inches.
I guess this is a relic, yeah.
Yeah. Of a model of your army, you subtract 2 from the result. -2 to all psychic tests.
I dig that. I would put that in every one of my lists.
Right. It's just you have to compare it to the 2 winners in the Space Wolf Codex, which is the Wolfenstone and the Armor of Rust.
Wolfenstone.
Yeah.
Armor. I know both of them. I see in every
Right. Because that's all they really have, right? Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to see this on the table that much, but I really dig it.
It's situationally good.
And then you have a couple of weapons that I don't even care about their stats. I don't even care about their stats.
I know. I don't like.
Though there is a gun. It replaces a Mastercrafted Stalker bolt rifle,
which is a battle.
Primaris for you. Just
leader.
It's heavy one, strength 6 -3. 3 damage.
And it can target characters.
And 3/6 range. So I like that one for my playstyles. Well, I don't like that one in the Space Wolf book.
Right. It's called Storm Song. Herrick Hawkeye was a patient and skilled hunter, able to pick out and slay even the most evasive prey at long
But if
distances.
I decide I want a lieutenant by my long fangs, I'm going to give him this gun.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you might as well. That's not bad. Storm Song gets to shoot every turn. Okay, now the other ones, we have Worm Splitter, which is a power axe.
Am I not going to take the
Armor of Rust,
the Wolfenstone?
Right.
Like, I'm going to take those.
Now, you probably wouldn't take the Wolfenstone or the Armor of Rust if you don't plan on going close combat.
But if you're playing Space Wolves, you're going close combat.
Right, I always build close combat, so I really want to go those 2 relics. The Worm Splitter, I believe they show this one off. It is damage 4. It's a power axe that is damage 4 against monsters and vehicles. Sure.
Well, the power axe is 2 damage.
Yeah.
It's 2 damage power.
Sorry, actually, it's the 2 damage power axe.
That's 4 damage against.
Yep. So it's not bad at killing Primaris Marines, and then if you're fighting a monster vehicle, it's a little bit better.
Again, it's not bad, but stone armor.
Or even like the Wolf Tail Talisman's like really good too.
That's a weird thing, yeah.
Weird Bane is a runic sword only, and it replaces the runic sword. It is a D3 damage, so it's what's it called? It's a force sword. It replaces a force sword. It's -4 AP, so it's +1 AP on that. It's the same D3 damage, but it's flat 3 against psychers. And you can reroll the wound roll.
I would have liked to have seen some way of allowing more characters to take these weapons.
Right.
Use more of your relics to make more of your characters special.
Yep. I wanted to take this one just to show it off, but
Bane?
Yeah, the psychers we have runic staves. So I wanted to keep it what you see is what you get. So it's a runic sword that has +1 AP and it gets to reroll wound rolls. In addition, if it attacks a psyker, it's flat 3 damage.
Cool. I'd just rather have it. Yeah. All right. What are your thoughts on Space Wolves?
They're better. That's pretty much all.
So I'm going to ask you again. What are your thoughts on Space Wolves? Well, where do you think?
Is this that question?
No. But I'm leading to it.
Okay. Well, there's 2 more relics too, but they're bad.
Okay, I'll go to the bad relics.
So,
I was going to skip them.
Talisman of Storms, Rune Priest only. After they resolve their first psychic power, they get to do another mortal wound. They get to do a mortal wound on the On the near. Oh, for each enemy unit within 12, they do a mortal wound on a 4 or more. Ooh.
Okay.
Does that one not excite you, Steve?
Doesn't excite me.
Yeah, it doesn't excite me either. The Mountain Breaker helmet. This is a helmet.
I hate the name.
Yeah, because it's about a ram and like breaking.
You don't break mountains.
But it's weird. It's weird how it mechanically works. You think this would work at the end of the charge phase, but it works in the end of their combat before they consolidate, right? So it's all about doing impact hits. So you go in, and on a 2-up, you do D3 mortal wounds after you resolve all of your attacks against an enemy unit that's still within 1 inch.
You headbutt them after you fight.
Oh, because you're a ram. Yes, that's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now I love it. Now it's my favorite relic. We're using that one.
So if you have to do it before you consolidate, so you still have to have an enemy nearby. You want to 2-up to take D3 mortal wounds. That's not actually that bad. It also has a secondary effect, is if you kill a character and your bearer is the warlord, you actually unlock your saga no matter what. So if your saga is something really weird and obscure, you're just like, no, screw this warlord, bam! Or screw this character, you just knock him out with your head, and you're just like, oh, my deed's unlocked now. Never mind what I was trying to do. I just killed the guy by hitting him on the head with my head. It's funny. That's the kind of stuff I appreciate. Like, I wish Games Workshop would do more stuff like that, but unfortunately, it's not as good compared to other relics.
All right, the question, Luka. You know which one, right? No question I'm asking you?
I actually don't.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
So Luke and I have had an ongoing debate for probably 2 years now, maybe longer. And if you watch it and talk stuff like that, you might be aware of this debate. For a long time, Luke and I argued
I know where you're
which
going.
armies were the worst in 40K. X-King Grey Knights, they didn't count.
This question mostly came up before the Space Marines got all their new rules.
Right, but now I think the question is valid again. So for a long time, Luke and I agreed that Dark Angels and Space Wolves, excluding Grey Knights because they were so bad they didn't even count, were the worst armies in the game. I said Space Wolves were the worst armies in the game. Luke said no, they're the second worst army in the game. Dark Angels are the worst.
I'd walk all over you with my Space Wolves.
Yes, so we said Dark Angels, Space Wolves, worst armies in the game. I think Space Wolves are worse, Dark Angels are worse. Now, Luka, in your opinion,
The Dark Angels
I'm
are better,
asking you.
Steve. The Dark Angels are better,
Okay.
Steve.
Sorry.
I think it's obvious.
Okay.
I think it's obvious. Okay, leave me alone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The Space Wolves got better. Yes.
Yes, they did.
Because they got doctrines and they got the Space Marine. They got awesome doctrine. They got the good doctrine. They just got doctrines, which are good, and they got the good Space Marine stratagems, which they desperately needed. And then they got a couple cool the counter charge is awesome.
But they're still about the chomp chomp.
Yes. And like I'll tell you the synopsis of literally every Space Wolf game I played. This is how it goes down. It is. I'm winning. Everything is in my mind. I am a Space Wolf. I am winning. Everything is great. My enemies are cowed before me. They're no match for me. Oh, it's turn 5. I have 2 models left. Like what happened? What happened every game? Like I'll win some of those, right? I had gotten enough points right away because I'm super aggressive. I Rhino rush forward. I get on points. I get my points, and then at the end, I walked all over my opponent. I showed him my martial prowess, and I have 2 models left. I'm nearly tabled. That happens every time.
Yeah.
And that is still going to happen with the Space Wolves.
True. Okay, well there you go. There is our first impressions of the Space Wolves part of the Saga of the Beast. There are 2 more videos up I'm going to remind you about. Yep. There is the first impressions of the Orcs, which are amazing, heads up right now. And also there is a video of the Orcs versus Space Wolves where we play each other in the MiniWarGaming Vault. You can watch that video right now. If you're not a Vault member, you can click the link below, get yourself a 7-day free trial. Watch that bat rep. Give us your thoughts. Cancel if you don't want to watch anything else afterwards. Or stick around, watch more stuff. But either way, I want to know what you guys think about the Space Wolves in this video, and go check out those other 2 videos.
The baseline, they got better. That's all that matters. They got better. I don't care if it's like 10% better. They got better. That's all that matters. So if you were already beating your opponents down to the Space Wolves, how? And you're gonna beat them down even harder. And so,
I'm sorry, Mike and Ben.
I know, right?
Happy Wargaming.
You can always play 30K. They're awesome in 30K.
I got 2 buddies who play Space Wolves.
I mean, I like to consider myself your buddy. I play Space Wolves.
Well, I meant 2 that don't know about this yet, who are learning by watching this video.
Oh, it's good, but other things are better. That is the gist.
Like literally everything else.
No, maybe.
No, I know.
Maybe yes, actually, maybe yes.
Yes. Well, okay, look at. Okay.
Ooh.
No.
Renegades and heretics. They don't really have any rules.
That's true.
Oh,
They're better than Chaos Space Marine Codex.
Ooh, actually, you're actually probably right on that. Actually, probably.
We're just making fun of them because they were in a real bad spot for a long time, and for some reason
They got incrementally better.
we had high hopes for. I don't know why. So maybe they're not that bad. They're actually not that bad.
No, I don't think they are.
They're really not.
But when comparing them to like Grey Knights,
but they're no
orcs,
Iron Hands.
Yeah, they're no Iron Hands. They're no orcs. They're no Grey Knights. They're like, it's scary. There's some scary stuff in 40K, and I don't know if the Space Wolves are up to match it.
Exactly. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy wargaming.